start to present, if you want to switch the gallery view to just the speaker view so you can just focus on the person who's presenting, then that control is in the top right-hand corner of your Zoom screen. But we are very excited for this special celebration for mothers. We also have a special guest who's going to be coming on to give us some wonderful information. And when I spoke with her, I was just in awe of her mission and her passion. So today is going to be a really special event. So last 60 seconds to make any invitations to bring people on. If you need to run really quick to the bathroom or grab your tea or your water or your protein shake, whatever you're doing at this time, then go ahead and grab that and we are going to kick it off. I see all of our speakers here, ready, beautiful faces. Oh my gosh, guys, you don't even know. I was like teary-eyed looking at the messages that these speakers, send over to us to let us know where their heart is as it pertains to mothers and really women, right? Because it's not just the moms, it's the aunties, it's the bonus moms, it's the women in our lives who, like, maybe they're a teacher, maybe they were a youth pastor, or just maybe they were a neighbor and they poured into you, like strong women, right? So this is going to be quite a celebration. So we're so thankful to have you all here. All right, Simon, we're getting ready to kick off. Any opening words, sir?
Yes, so I wrote my mom a letter, and I want you to read I just want to share with you the letter I wrote to my mom. I said, "Dear Mom, I just wanted to say thank you for bringing me into the world. You told me when you were carrying me in your womb that I was special. I don't know if all moms tell their children that they have a little something extra. Nevertheless, I believed you. As I've grown over the years, I often hear your sage wisdom bouncing around my head like a ping pong ball. You often would say you're a product of your environment. Wherever you find yourself, ask yourself, is this the best place to unleash my potential? If not, then shift. And the way up is down, which simply meant to always pray to God and don't depend on yourself. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Now, as a grown man with 2 young adult children of my own, I often find myself reflecting on the lessons that you and Dad poured into me, and when I pretended not to be listening. Somehow, my subconscious absorbed your universal wisdom that was earned in the school of life. I don't know if I've ever taken the time to say thank you. If I didn't, I want to say it right now. Thank you, Mom. People often compliment me, and I know that it's because I stand on your shoulders. I realized that growing up, I was a bit of a pill to handle. I remember the day you came to my middle school at the request of the principal about my behavior. They said that I was hyperactive. Today it's called ADHD. You simply said, that there was nothing wrong with me. I distinctly remember that for 3 months you would come into my tiny bedroom with the rickety bed at 3 a.m. with a bottle of oil to anoint my head and to pray to God to calm me down. You believed in the power of prayer, and I do as well. Mom, I am a better man today because you never gave up on me. You dropped me off at Morehouse College at 17 years of age. If the truth be told, I was lost, but you never told me to come back to Buffalo. You left me in Atlanta to figure it out. This was the best life lesson and best education one could ever have. I love you, Mom. I love you. I love you. Thank you, thank you. Even though I'm 1,000 miles away, every time I talk with you, you hug me with your words. The first woman I ever learned to love was you. Thank you for loving me. That's what molded me, and I love our conversations now. They are deeper and richer and priceless. I miss your parents, my grandparents, and I wish I could talk to them. I have so many questions about their parents, my great-grandparents. How did they survive slavery, discrimination, and the lack of education? As I look at my life, my children, and my business, I've become the man that my great-grandparents dreamed about, prayed about, struggled for, and died for. Wow, what a rich heritage. When Dad passed away almost 6 years ago, he asked me to take care of you. I made him a promise that I would gladly do it. It would be my honor. I am Simon T. Bailey, proud son of Reginald and Mary. I am Simon T. Bailey, grateful father of Daniel and Madison. I am Simon T. Bailey, who loves God, loves myself, and loves life. When I was conceived in your womb, you rubbed your belly like all pregnant mothers do and said to God, this boy is special. Yes, I am. It's taken 51 years for me to believe it. I just had a breakthrough. Better late than never. Love you, Mom. So, Karen, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Simon. I'm getting ready to get my pen and paper out to write my mom a note. And hopefully that inspires you all to do the same, to just reach out. A lot of times we take for granted that we can communicate. And I did see in the chat that some people have lost their mom. And so let's not take these moments for granted. So guys, I am very excited for us. Just a couple of quick things. First, I am going to have everybody on mute, but we would love to see your beautiful faces. So again, if you want to keep your video on, feel free to. We have 3 speakers that are lined up today, and we also have an individual who we believe very much in her purpose, her passion, and the work that she's doing. And so we're excited to introduce you to our dear friend, Namita from Mary Body. But this morning, or this afternoon as we kick off, just want to remind you that please, when you feel inspired, drop that in the chat. One of the things that I loved most about the first Spark Hope Virtual Summit was that chat was on fire. And that deepens the connection. And for anybody who's here, because most of you, because you came and you were there and you witnessed the connection that we were experiencing, the energy transfer in the chat. So every time that you feel something that just comes over you and that you are appreciating in your heart, drop that in the chat. But don't let it just stay there. Also, we ask that you share this on your network. You know, the experience that we're creating here, it really is about sparking hope and creating a ripple effect of good. So while we're very glad that you are here and that you are taking this time to allow others to pour into you, don't let it stay there. Take that and pass it on. Anything that just inspires your heart and resonates with your soul, put that on your favorite social media platform, and please use the hashtag SparkHopeNow, because that's our mission. And now that you're here, you're part of the mission. And we welcome you into that. So without further ado, we're going to start with our first speaker. So our first speaker today is Terry Stevenson. She's an international speaker who believes you are never too old or too young to reinvent yourself. So Terry, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. I want to say that I really enjoy the time when I pull out my box of greeting cards that I keep, my keepsake greeting cards, because I run across cards like this that says, "What is a mother?" And on the inside, it says, "Mom, thank you for always being there. Happy Mother's Day with love," from my oldest daughter. Then my other daughter, I found one that says, "With love, Mom, on Mother's Day." Wherever I go, the bond that we share is always a part of everything I do. Thank you, Mother. I love you. And then I have one for my son, handmade. And this one comes with a portrait. See the resemblance? It says, "Mom, I really appreciate you. I want you to know that I really love you. You're the best mom I could ask for. Thank you and happy Mother's Day." You see, these cards have words on them, but to me, it's more about what's not written in the cards. It's what I have shown my children. And what it's saying is, "Mom, you've shown me how to make hard decisions, even though they're not popular." You see, about 17, 18 years ago, we lived in another state, and then life happened. What happened was my husband's job relocated to New York. And so everybody was like, "Oh my God, you're moving to New York. You're so lucky. You're so blessed. You're going to be at the theaters and all the wonderful food and the Statue of Liberty and all these wonderful things, la, 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 la." And I said, "Well, why don't you pick up your family from an area and a place of what you know to the unknown? Why don't you take your kids out of private school and put them in public school? Why don't you take your home that you purchase and sell it and rent it for twice as much in New York? Why don't you take your 2-family income and now become a 1-family income? Because mom, you decided it is more important for you to be there for your children at that time. I said, God, why would you have me to leave everything that you gave me? And as soon as I asked the question, I got the answer. God said, if I can give it to you here, I'll give it to you there. So guess where I live? We live in New York. And another thing that these cards, although they don't have the words, it shows that, Mom, you've shown me how to be human and not perfect. I was reading an article in Psychology Today, and it said, kids don't want perfect parents. Because on the contrary, when they decide or see that they have perfect parents, the pressure that is on them is so great because they understand that they're not perfect. And so in order to be able to live this life that we have, moms, and, I had to realize and free myself. Free myself from the fact that balanced life doesn't mean an equal life. There were times where I couldn't go to a church service because I have a gymnastics meet, or I couldn't cook dinner because I had soccer practice, or I couldn't do laundry because I had basketball practice, or I had this, or I had that, or I had all these different things. But what I realize is balance doesn't mean equal. It means to prioritize. It means that we have to get stable in our lives, which means everything can't get the same. So as I'm prioritizing, as you are prioritizing yourself and your life, know that you're balancing your life. Another thing these cards didn't say, but it showed that, Mom, thank you so much for pushing past fear and moving to the what's next. You see, as moms, as humans, sometimes we do the, what if we never should have left home? What if we don't buy another home? What if we don't have the finances we need that we used to have? What if the dog dies? What if the car breaks? What if this? What if that? What if? And when we go through these what if questions, it puts so much fear in us sometimes. It keeps us from wanting to move forward. It keeps us from not being afraid to move forward. But what if the worst thing that we think could happen actually happened? We as mothers, we get up the next morning, put our feet on the floor, and we say, what's next? How can we make this work? What do I have to do? What do I have to give up? What do I have to sacrifice to make sure that we keep moving on as a family? What do we continue to do? That what's next. My what's next is also maybe different than your what's next, or another person's what's next. Your what's next might be, well, since this quarantine, I've decided that I'm coming home, raising my kids, being a stay-at-home mom, and homeschooling them. Someone else might say, well, what's next? I am going to be an entrepreneur. I don't care what it takes. Or someone else might say, I'm going to apply for the position no matter what. I'm going to apply for this promotion because it doesn't matter. That's my what's next. It could be my what's next. I need a vacation. I need a Calgon take me away moment because this quarantine is keeping me all bundled up that I need to free myself. But whatever your what's next is, I want you to know that because there's hope in you, there's hope in your what's next. Because there is hope in you, there is hope in your what's next. And I want you to understand that out of all the things that we've gone through, that moms, aunties, grandmamas, cousins, whatever you are, whoever you are who've imparted some knowledge and wisdom into some other young people, that you've had the boldness to make hard decisions, whether or not you like them or not, whether they were popular. You've had the courage to be human and not be perfect. And of course, you've been an overcomer because you have moved from fear to what's next. Now, you may not have heard it much. You may not even hear it Sunday on Mother's Day. You may not even get a call on Mother's Day. You may not even get a card on Mother's Day. But I want to tell you something that you may not have heard recently. And I want you to take into your heart. And that is, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Terry. You hit something on the head, is that, you know, a lot of times when we have kids and they give us a card, you know, it's just a card, right? It's a piece of paper, it has some words on it. There's so much depth to that. And I appreciate you just giving us a moment to really sit in that and to savor that, because it's true. I mean, I think about my mom, I send her a card, I'm like, this isn't even giving all the words. So thank you so very much. So before we get on to our next speaker, I mentioned that we do have a special guest with us today. And Namita is the founder of Mary Body. Mary Body is M-E-R-I Body. And so what's interesting about this, and as I invite her to come on, is sometimes we take things for granted. And even having knowledge, right, we take for granted until you hear a story like this. So Namita, I'm going to ask that you come on, and if you can please unmute yourself and please share with us Mary Body and also your experience and why this is so important to you.
Thank you, Karen. Good evening from the Netherlands. In the midst of bad, choose to do good. One of Karen's quotes. For this special Mother's Day occasion, and for us to spark hope, I'd like to invite you to a journey to come with me for a few minutes to India. It's a land of 1.3 billion people, and 50% is under the age of 25 years. 65% is under the age of 35 years. So 2/3 of the country's population is fertile. Now, please keep this in mind for a minute. So when I spoke to Simon recently, he was shocked to hear when I told him that 70% of the low-educated Indian girls think that they can get pregnant when they're having their periods. And so in India, there are lots of low-income people. They get married off very soon when they reach puberty. They cut school, they get pregnant, have babies every year, I'm sorry. And in the end, as a desperate deed, they move over to abortions because you just don't have enough to feed the next baby. Not so long ago, women came to our place and she wanted a job. She had 2 kids to feed and an unemployed husband, and she had had 7 abortions in 1 year. Imagine a mother having to abort 7 times in 1 year. This is reality in 2020. Now, as a mother of 2 daughters, I was horrified to learn this. But the reason is that mothers in India are bent by societal pressure and they don't discuss reproductive health care. They don't discuss periods, they don't discuss fertility. So due to misconceptions, the young kids conceive. I couldn't do nothing, so I was compelled as a social entrepreneur also to work on it. So we've developed the Mary Body app. It's an e-health app with animation videos like you would see with Disney films, and it's with different voiceovers. We've tried to lower the threshold so that their kids over there have got lots of smartphones, and they're used to watching Bollywood films as well. And to be able to share the knowledge with simple animation videos would make sure that they understand what's happening to their bodies. We've already got the first app developed, and we are already rolling out, and there's hundreds of users coming on. So why were we going to do the fundraising that we decided to do? And that's because Marybody also needs to develop more effective videos to be able to customize the functionalities, even for the tribal communities in the rural areas. And while we're talking about sparking hope, while I'm sitting over here, because we are celebrating my son's birthday today, and my children are downstairs, they have arranged for me. They said, Mom, you go and you talk, because this is what you are wanting to do. You not only want to educate us, you want to educate millions of children. And the easiest way to do that is by being able to go to them and to share the knowledge with them as well. And you know what? These building blocks will make a meaningful impact for the adolescents that we're talking about. And it will help them to understand. But I, as a mother, can't do it alone. I need lots of mothers and fathers to join me to go through this journey. And I want to see the smiles on the faces of the kids when they look up to me and they say, oh, but this is so easy. And children have come up to me crying, I will never forget you, because no one has spoken to me like you have done. And now I understand I don't need to be ashamed of period. I don't need to be hiding from it. It's a natural process. And thank you so much for sharing that. That's what they've said to me. And that's what I have pledged now to do. It's not a project anymore. It's not an organization anymore. It's a purpose in life. It's our responsibility, the ones who have got better, the ones who God have blessed with more, to share. And by sharing, we'll be sparking hope for them.
Wow.
Thank you, Simon, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, participants, for being over here as well. It's awesome. Thank you.
Namita, thank you so much. So I want to let everyone know, on behalf of everyone who registered, we have already made a donation to Namita's a GoFundMe account. We've already made a donation, and the link is in the chat. And if you would be so inclined to also make a donation and support this very important work. We believe that Sparking Hope is not just enough to come together in a virtual summit, but can we do something tangible in the world, especially with this being the week of Mother's Day week. Also, Namita is a registered nurse, and today is National Nurses Day. So Namita, thank you also for your gift of life and health and all that you do. All right, Karen, I turn it back over to you.
Yes, well, thank you again, Namita. Guys, if you look over in the chat, then Melissa has put the link. If you want to also donate and to help this, again, a lot of times we take things for granted, right? Even taking knowledge of our body for granted. So we definitely want to support Namita as much as we can. So moving on to our next speaker. So Willie Johnson is an award-winning speaker and dynamic trainer who inspires audiences in the areas of communication effectiveness, leadership, and personal development. So Willie, thank you for joining us. I'm going to turn it over to you, sir. Willie, you there?
Wherever.
There you are.
Wherever you are, at the top of your voice and with enthusiasm, I want you to say, it's possible.
It's possible.
Oh, come on now, shout it out. It's possible.
It's possible.
Now I don't know what your it is, but I to remind you that no matter what your it is, no matter what you're hearing in the news, and no matter what is going on in our world today, that it's still possible for you to live up to your potential and be amazing. And as my gift to you, I would like to share with you 2 secrets that my amazing mother shared with me in hopes that they will spark your life just as they sparked my life. At the age of 18, when I was getting ready to go off to Arizona Western College, my amazing mother pulled me aside to give me one of her pep talks. It turned out to be one of those amazing pep talks that literally changed my life. And I will never forget it. Going through the side door of the kitchen, she took me outside and over to her empty rental apartment that was located by the house and sat down at the small kitchen table. She then looked at me and said, Thunder, Thunder, you see, is my nickname. I'm going to tell you something and you can't tell any of your brothers and sisters. Well, I'm only one of 8. And this coming from the woman that taught me that a secret is only a secret until I open my mouth and say something. She continued by saying, of all my children, you're my favorite. I think you're special. I think you can do anything you set your mind to do. And to that, I just laughed and said, oh, Mom, I bet you told Eddie the same thing. You see, Eddie was my older brother. She just smiled and then asked me to make her a promise that I would always believe in myself and realize that as her son, I was someone special. Did you hear that? She made me promise that I would always believe that I was very, very special. Just by being her son, I was very special. So you see, I was really pumped by then. So the only thing that I could say was, yes, ma'am. She then hugged me and whispered into my ear, take God wherever you go. Try to keep a smile on your face and see the good things in life. And stay away from those bad crowds because God won't have it any other way. Then she handed me $25. She knew that the brother was low on funds, and I really, really liked that $25. Could have taken more, but she wasn't coming on anything more than that $25. Now, there are several lessons to glean from my mother's pep talk, but I want to just share 2 with you. The first is simply this. To be amazing is not about you or your smarts. It's about how positive and cheerfully determined you are. In other words, here it comes, ladies. In other words, don't just have a mood, have a positive attitude. Yes, don't just have a mood, have a positive attitude. You see, that's what my mama meant when she said, try to keep a smile on your face and see the good things in people. Now, even though I said a positive attitude, you also have to remember that a positive attitude won't let you do everything, but it will let you do everything better than a negative attitude will. You see, a positive attitude will let you use your abilities. And in life, that's all you really need. A positive attitude will let you use your abilities. And in life, that's all you really need. Therefore, you must be driven to look on the bright side of things, see the good in people, read positive quotes, write positive affirmations daily, and say positive things to yourself. In other words, just like my friend Craig Valentine says, in life, it doesn't matter what you drive What matters is what drives you. So don't just have a mood, have a positive attitude. The second lesson that I'd like to share with you is to be amazing. Don't listen to and stay away from all those itty bitty, small-minded, negative people. That's what my mother meant when she said, stay away from bad crowds. Negative people, you see, will kill your spirit. They will never see the big picture because they will always be in the wrong frame of mind. Real quick in the chat, type a yes if you know some negative people. Yeah, negative people. I'm talking about people that are so negative, you can symbolically put them into a dark room and they will develop themselves. You have to get away from them in a flash so that you can become the empowered exposures you were destined to be. That you were destined to be. Never let anyone's negative opinion of you become the opinion of yourself. Never let anybody tell you what you can't do, even if they've never done it. Stop taking no from those who can't tell you yes. My friends, there is greatness within each and every one of you, and it's possible, regardless of what's going on in our world today, for you to live up to your potential and be amazing. I just have one question for you. What are you going to do with the pep talk that I just gave you?
Oh, Willie, thank you so much. I mean, so many notes, so many gems. I hope y'all were catching those. There are so many great nuggets from your wise and loving mother. Thank you so much for sharing that, Willie. All right, guys, so we have one last speaker for today's session. She is Mary Alice. Mary Alice is an internationally known speaker, author, and professional transformation strategist who empowers business owners, women leaders, churches, and nonprofits to actionable results. So Mary Alice, I'm going to ask that you please join us. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Karen. And thank you, Simon, for creating this wonderful opportunity to give us a hope injection and all of your team. It's a great day. If you were asked how it would be, your life would be 2 months ago, and there was already a lot that was on your plate, how many of you would say now that in this two months later, that there's almost more on your plate than you can even imagine or think of? I think we would probably all raise our hands, yes, because our world as we know it has dramatically changed. The world our world as busy women and mothers has not only been busy, but gotten filled now with chaos, uncertainty, fear, lots of unexpected changes, and changes at home because we have children. You have children there that you're homeschooling. Changes because of unexpected practices that we have to do when we go into public places. It seems like things have maybe gone out of control, but in that sense of out of control, we can still hang on to a sense of hope. Hope really is one of our superpowers. And today my goal is to encourage you to fan the flame of hope within your own heart. A few weeks ago, NBC Today had an interview with a 27-year-old mother named Angela. Angela is from Washington State, and she is a respiratory therapist who actually got COVID-19, got the virus, and became very, very ill. The other thing is that she was 33 weeks pregnant when she got ill. So when she got into the hospital, the doctors placed her into a coma. She has a twin sister named Oksana. And in the interview, Oksana was telling about how that was such a fearful time, on top of being busy with all the responsibilities at their homes and the responsibility of jobs and children. She felt like it was so full of fear, that she was powerless, that she was out of control, and that she wondered about what was going to happen to her niece that was on the way. Well, when Angela woke up, Angela found out that she actually gave birth to a new daughter while she was in that coma. Can you imagine the thing about the whole being sick, but also then giving birth, the doctors inducing labor to give birth? And they meaningfully named her daughter Ava. And Ava means breath of life. What an appropriate name for a beautiful little girl that was born in such a difficult and trying situation. I think for the sake of inclusion today, as Mother's Day is on the way, I want to encourage all of those among us that are mother-like ones. That means that we have those among us that are single moms, brand new moms, stepmoms, moms-to-be, foster moms, and spiritual moms. In that, all of us have a mother-like heart and a mother-like spirit. That really sums up my life and my background. I've been in full-time service, in missions work, and in nonprofit work, and in leadership training. And even though I'm not a natural mother, I am a spiritual mom, and that has had me help keep the motherhood heart in my life. And whatever type of mom you are, whatever type of mother-like one you are, your spirit, your words, your prayer, and your life matter in those that you exemplify a mother-like heart too. And you know what? I had a great example, and I have a great example of a mom. My 80-year-old mom got online today, and she's here with us in the chat. Hi, Mom. It's also wonderful because I had grandmothers that molded my life, and the influence and impact of those mother-like ones and those mother ones in our lives, the mother figures, make a huge difference. So I want to encourage you today to embrace the force of hope. First of all, I want to talk about our superpower, if you would allow me to use that word, as from the context of the ancient text, the Bible. The Bible gives a chapter, Proverbs 31, where a mother is telling her son what he should look for in a wife, what he should look for in a woman. And boy, the whole chapter goes on to describe a woman who has or could have superpowers. Really, when you read that chapter of Proverbs 31, you could get overwhelmed at looking at all those things that she did or that she became. And that was the kind of wife or woman he was supposed to look for. She was spiritual. She was a businesswoman. She had her home in order. She had all these people that honored her. Her husband honored her. Her kids honored her. And she had the point for me of that whole picture is that as a woman, as a mother, there's a great capacity, a God-given capacity that is given to us. In the Hebrew word, when she says to her son, you need to look for this kind of woman, it says virtuous. And that word is a Hebrew word called kail. And it's really powerful because it means great power, force, might, strength, ability, virtue. It even means look for a woman who is war worthy. That means ladies who can fight a good battle and win. So if we're in a good battle now and we're winning, we can also know that have confidence in the way that God created us to be those women, those kind of women of excellence that he is looking for, and the mother encouraged the son to find. You know, some of her traits really created a lot of competence in her. And a study showed back in 2014 that women don't always lean in. They depend on their competence instead of their confidence. And really it's hope that opens the door for confidence in your life. Hope is a desire to see something happen in the future. Our current epidemic can take our picture of hope away from us. What is our future? What is the future of our job? What is the future of our children? What is the future of our lives? But today, we're getting a hope inoculation, a hope vaccination, a hope impartation, if you would, that stops all the hopelessness and despair that could come our way. In conclusion, I want to pray for you because the Bible says that God is a God of hope, and that hope that he divinely gives us is an anchor to our souls. And I believe that as we pray, God will touch you in a very special way and give you what you need for the feeling of out of control, despair, darkness, and hopelessness that you might feel right now. So Father, we come before you in the name of Jesus and thank you for every woman, every mother-like one that's watching in the room today, maybe living in another country, maybe feeling isolated, on the front lines at work, lonely, overwhelmed, maybe laid off, unsafe, or even lost a loved one herself, overwhelmed by these things today that we face. I thank you, Lord, that right now you grant unto that woman, unto that mother, unto that even girl, I ask that you grant her hope. We thank you for a spirit of hope that lets us see our future and understand that in you, our future is good. And we thank you for it in Jesus' name. Amen. My friends, the only thing that Angela, the girl that was giving birth in a coma from COVID-19, she came out. She was so excited to finally meet her daughter, Ava, and they asked her, what was the thing that brought your family through? She said, my sister, myself, and my husband, we could not give up hope. That's how we made it. So today, we do not give up our hope. Thank you.
Mary Alice, amazing. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, Karen, I'm just overwhelmed, but whoa. I mean, from Terry, what's next? I hope all of you are thinking about what's next, to Willie sharing with us that it's about a positive attitude, taking control of the situation. And then Mary Alice giving us a hope injection. Hope is a superpower. Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mary Alice, Willie, Terry, thank you. And to all of you, we hope that you will go and share with someone else your takeaway today. I'm going to turn it over to Karen just to wrap us up and send us home. We're going to hang out for a little bit, but we want to make sure that we end appropriately, and we'll be with you. So Karen.
I think everybody knows by now I'm a crier. That last one got me, Mary Alice, you got me. And I'm just so grateful again that, you know, when we first started this and Simon called us and said, hey, listen, I have this idea. It has not changed. And I just see so many people that are being impacted by these messages. I know my life is being impacted by these messages. So a huge thank you to the speakers for carving out time today and blessing us with these messages. Thank you so very much. Tomorrow we have 3 more speakers for you, and we invite you to come back and to bring a friend, and also make sure that you have registered for that second day. Each day has its own registration link. So head over to SparkHopeNow.com if you have not registered for day 2. If you are sending folks to register, please send them to that website so they can save their seat. And remember, don't let what you learned here stay here. Spread that light, spread that hope. We want this to be a ripple effect of good in the world, and we can't do it without you. So thank you so much for joining us. Please hang out if you have any questions that you want to ask the speakers, if there's anything that has, you know, moved or shaped your life. Please share that. Like, this is a space for community and connection. So we do want to honor your time. If you have to go, thank you so much for spending time with us. And we hope to see you tomorrow.
Awesome. Wow. Wow. I'm just speechless.
Absolutely.
I'm speechless.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And feel free. I mean, gosh, yes, please. If you have a question, I see you, Dr. Judy. You can take yourself off mute. Hi, good to see you again.
Good to see you. I just want to say to Simon, in addition to all of the amazing speakers that he had on today, he just really took my heart when he came out with that letter to his mom. I tell you, he is an amazing person. And then to have such an amazing mom, that just thrilled me beyond measure. I am so honored to know him and to be a part of Spark Hope Now, and just to see where people evolve from and all the things that they're doing and giving back. And it was just amazing to hear that letter to his mom. I am so thrilled and so proud to be a mom and to hear how he's pleased to have such a great mom in part in his life as well. Yeah. And all of the other speakers as well. But I just wanted to give him his kudos too, because he was amazing. Thank you.
I would love to know what one thing you've learned from your mom. One thing you can put in the chat, or feel free to, take yourself off mute. We're all here together. But what is one thing that you learned from your mom? Or here's another one. Have you ever said anything and you're like, oh, that was my mom? Everybody has had that, okay? I've heard the tone, the inflections, everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so my mother.
Never give up, fight, strength, go catch your dream. Always look at the view. To be kind. Wow.
Yes.
I see my mom more and more each day. Take care of others. Life is an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
I see Essie Lane's. Essie Lane, I think you can take yourself off of mute. And Essie Lane, and let's
That's my mom.
That's your mom? That's your mom, Essie Lane. How are you?
Georgia.
Oh, your daughter did an amazing job. Thank you for the gift of Terry Stevenson. Thank you.
Nikita says when she walks around the house telling everybody they need to clean up. She sounds exactly like her mother.
I think she was trying to say something, but she's on mute.
Oh, Karen, can you take Essie Lane off of mute?
Yes. Let me find her. There we go. Miss Essie.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I don't know what I'm doing.
Here.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I enjoyed everybody. They're beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you for joining us, and thank you for your wonderful, phenomenal daughter and the message that she brought. That's from you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Who else? My grandmother taught me a good work ethic. Thank you, Tina. Lisa says, I learned my work ethic from my amazing, beautiful mother. Linda said, you're old enough for your wants, not to hurt you. Okay. Okay. Gloria, always be independent. Never rely on anyone else to get you somewhere in life. Thank you, Gloria Smith. Awesome. Christine, how to overcome the most craziest challenge ever, cancer. Your mother is your superhero. Wow.
Oh,
wow.
To sing through the
I can
storm.
say hello.
Oh, Barb, thank you.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed your daughter, Essie.
I did. I really did. I always do. Yeah, I enjoyed everybody too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We so appreciate you. Awesome. Who else? Everybody's here.
I'm so inspired, Simon and Karen. Yeah. I'm so really inspired. I'm going to try to log in tomorrow at my mom's place so she can join us because I think she's going to really love the session as well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
How old is your mom, to me, if I may ask? How old is your mom?
She turned 83.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, she did. So, and she's a great, caring mother. She's always given us a lot of love, and even up till date, she gives. Yeah. She gives.
And just a reminder, if you guys want to share this replay with anybody, you will get the replay emailed to you. Please feel free. Again,
Great.
This is a ripple effect. Forward that on to the women in your lives who need this encouragement. If I could just take a snapshot of what I saw in the chat, it's definitely that our mothers are a vessel of encouragement and strength. I know that that's the same for me as well when I look at all the things that my mom went through. And now as I am an adult going through my own challenges, I am so grateful. And we don't like going through our mess, right? It doesn't feel good. but we're not alone. And to have this kind of mother figure and even father figures, just people in our life who show us, hey, I went through this, and let me speak life, let me speak encouragement, let me speak strength when you feel like you don't have any, let me give you some of mine. I feel like that's what our mothers most definitely give us. I know my mom gave that to me.
Yes, yes. I'm curious, Robert, go ahead. Oh, can't hear you, Robert. I see you talking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Okay. I was on this call today. I lost my mother 3 years ago, and when I heard you speaking, I wanted to be on because I think mothers are so important. And I want to say everyone on this call, it was after my mother passed that I realized she was paralyzed for about since 2007 to 2017 for 10 years. And so I took care of her every day, fixed coffee, every day had conversation. I showed her through my world all the things, and she always said, I'm so proud of you. But when she passed, I think it was more of a hurt than my dad, because I realized that for the first 40 weeks, even though we were formed in the embryo for 40 weeks, 40 days and 40 weeks, we were in our mother's womb. We hear her voice, we feel her love. And the first face that we see is our mom. The first hug that we get is from our mom. The first assurance, as I was listening to Willie, the conversation, my mom, she dropped me off at preschool and she left. It was like Batman. I was stuck with the Joker and everybody and these kids. And why did my mom leave me? And she came back and she picked me up. And from that point forward, I believe all the things that my mom has prepared me for in life, she's here with me today. And so it hurt just that much more when my mom went away, because I knew her 9 months before I came into the world. So to all the moms, don't forget, you are the lifeblood of all of us and what we are today. And one of the things I always share with my kids is that, like Simon, sometimes you cry. I said, yeah, because half of that came from my mom. That's my maternal side. So I learned how to weep. I learned how to cry. I learned how to laugh. And to Terry, I experienced that. My mom, you know, when we were bused to the other side of the town, I said, Mom, those kids are different. She said, but yeah, you're gonna be just like those kids. You can do whatever you put your mind to. And then finally, Mary Alice, when she talked about the virtuous woman, I said, yes, everybody knows that the guy wants to marry the woman that's like his mom. And so my wife and I today, Pam, was like my mom. She's the homemaker. And all the things that we had challenges with, the two people working in the home, I finally said my mom eventually stopped working. I had my wife stop because she was like my mom. And so I tell my kids all the time, you have a wonderful mom. And thank you all for this Mother's Day presentation.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Who else? Who else? Hey, Terry, tell Tyrone to come back. Come off mute. Tyrone, how did you enjoy hearing your daughter? Take it off mute, Terry. Tyrone, how did you enjoy hearing your wife?
Man, it was phenomenal. I was with her yesterday, so she was going through it. And so she was all nervous, but she did a fantastic job. I do have one little critique.
Okay, before
Terry,
you
mute him.
No.
We're not trying to get you in trouble
So
on this.
here's my critique, Simon. Simon, I see cards from my son, from my oldest daughter, from my middle daughter. I'm waiting. I'm like, one's coming up from daddy. One's coming up from Big Daddy in a minute. Shit, give me shit. Simon. Simon, come on, Simon. But I'd be like, you're a great I mean, happy Mother's Day. I want a card. Brothers, we see, it ain't fair. Mother's Day is still gonna be the biggest holiday of the year in a quarantine. She did a great job. I'm very proud of her. And Simon, thank you for all the work that you're doing with her. She has sparked. My wife has been completely engaged in our work and in our children. And now at this point, for her to decide, I want to do something for me, is probably one of the most gratifying things for me, because at first I wanted to see how long it's gonna last. Because it always start, I want to do something for me, and then before you know it, the kids need something, I need something, somebody needs something, but she has stuck to this, and I am excited to see where this takes her because she deserves it. She is an amazing woman. She really is.
Well,
even though she didn't put my card up here. I give nice cards too.
First of all, let me say congratulations to you guys on 28 years of marriage, right? You just had your anniversary last week. And number two, thank you for being a supportive husband. We have seen the transformation in Terry. Everyone will tell you we've seen the transformation. And so it takes teamwork to make the dream work. So thank you, Tyrone. We love you guys.
Now if you can just get her to show my card. Simon, I'm gonna text you. She needs to show my card.
Bye.
Oh, too funny. Too funny. Too funny. Who else? Who else? Who else? You never know what happens in the afterglow, right, Karen?
That is so true. Every time. Every time.
Hi.
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 Hey, Samara Jones.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to say, first of all, I thought this was absolutely phenomenal. And I think just what I needed, especially like during this time, you are kind of like consumed and boggled down with all of the things that are happening and that's going on. But I just wanted to say just like a thank you to Terry Stevenson, who's actually my spiritual mom.
Wow.
She is a phenomenal mother. And I was talking to her the other day. I said, you know, I appreciate my mother, who is, you know, right now going through Alzheimer's, and what my mother was able to teach me was how to survive. That was what she understood. That was what she got. And she was able to do it from a place where she taught me how to be able to survive and have a heart towards people. And I was like, and on the flip side, you know, First Lady, as a mom, a spiritual mom, she has showed me how to thrive and how to live on the other side when you're not just surviving, but how do you function as a mom, as a wife, as a woman when you want to thrive and when you want to live and once you want to explore the other side of you.
Wow.
So having the experience of both and being able to interchange between the two of them, from when I need them, because there's moments where I need to be in survival mode and there's moments where I need to be in my thriving mode. So having the experience of both, I'm just so blessed, and happy Mother's Day to every mother. Remember, we need the lessons from one another so that we can be even better parents, so that we can be better women, so that we can be better humans on this planet. So just thank you for this spark of hope, because it definitely sparked hope in me. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Samara. Thank you so much. Maureen Fitzgerald, I see you. Can you come off mute and just say hi? What was your big takeaway? I know I totally put you on the spot, Maureen. Wait, can you talk? Okay, no problem. While she's doing that, we'll come back to you, Maureen. April, what did you think of this session, April Rounds? We'll let you, you can take a, 1 second, all right. Everybody's at work, I'm sorry. Hey, Maureen, what did you think?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I can't wait to come back till tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk some more of my friends into joining. And Yvonne said she's going to be back tomorrow.
Okay.
I enjoyed it as well. And I do need to be back to work now.
Okay. Awesome. So glad
you all tomorrow.
Good.
Okay.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, April.
All right. Awesome, guys.
Thank you so much. Maureen?
Yes, now I'm back on. My computer is very, very slow with all these Zoom chats. I had to buy new speakers because they blew out my speakers. But when I went to the 3-day seminar a couple weeks ago, it really sparked hope in me to the point where I was reviewing them at night before I went to bed, just so I could sleep at night. And it's just amazing how many powerful messages you can get off these chats. So it was really nice that y'all were doing Mother's Day special.
Awesome.
And it's just been very enlightening. So I really do appreciate it during this time.
Well, we are so glad you're here, and we wanted to say hi to you. I see my friend Vanessa McDonald on. Vanessa, I've totally put you on the spot, Miss Vanessa McDonald. And she stared at the screen, so she is probably doing something else. I'll come back to Vanessa. Mary Alice, is your mother still on at all?
I don't know.
Okay, what's your mother's name?
Her name is Rosa.
Hey, Karen, is Rosa?
I don't see a Rosa on.
Okay, so Rosa logged off. All right, who else? Who else? Jennifer Abernathy, what did you think of today? What was your takeaway?
Hey, can you hear me? Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I thought it was, hey, Terry, everyone, first of all the speakers, you know, this is what the second go around of this, and it's just, you know, I'm just blown away by the quality of the speakers and the quality of the content.
Awesome.
So there was just, I took so many notes, and like you said, those nuggets, to read them, to like go back and read them at night, like she was just saying, you know, they're very motivational, very inspirational, and they can stay with us all year round. And I appreciate the stories. I loved hearing Robert's story just a few minutes ago about his mom. And yeah, I thought it was really great. And loved hearing from Mary Body as well. So we'll be making a donation, and we'll be spreading the word on that app.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Thank you, Jennifer. Hey, Vanessa McDonald. How are you, friend? You take yourself off of mute and say hi.
Hi, how are you?
Friend.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
I can.
Okay, perfect. How are you? It's so good to see your face.
Good to see you. How did you enjoy it?
I loved it. It was great. As a mom to 4 young kids, 3 of them being boys, I have a task ahead, but I loved hearing the inspiration from the moms who are doing it, who've been there, who have success doing it, and loved hearing from everyone, and really glad I joined and really appreciate you putting this on.
Wow, thank you, friend. Good seeing you.
Yeah.
Vanessa, I have to say, while I saw the gallery view, I looked on, I was like, what is my friend Susan doing on here? You look exactly like my childhood friend, Susan Delonzo. I'm like, I gotta check the name. The doppelganger.
Oh, that's funny. I love it.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Who else? Hey, Michelle McFarlane. Hope you enjoyed it today. Yeah, all right. Michelle's like waving. Don't call me. I'm good. Oh, well, Karen, why don't we bring this to a close? Thank you for just spending some time with us. Any parting thoughts, Karen?
No, guys, again, we really encourage you. I mean, what you felt today, we would love for more people to feel this energy as well. So please, even if you just think of one person that you can send a text message to when you get off of here and say, hey, there's this thing, you need to be there, it's tomorrow, and then include the link in that text message. Do that, because we are here to spark hope around the globe. And thank you so much for helping us do that. So,
hey,
all
Karen,
right, guys.
Here, let's say it together. We didn't practice this. We love you. We believe in you. And there's
not a darn thing you can do about it.
Oh, also, one more thing. So I've been practicing. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day to you. All right.
Oh,
thank you.
Chambers, make a jazz fest over there.
I'll stay in my lane now.
Well, thank you guys. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.